Okay, so, torn buttholes, X-Pac. What happened?
I don't know because I haven't watched it yet. Because I'm not like when you send me a video like this, I'm like, oh, I got to rush right to the computer and watch this video. I know this happened. My heart goes out to Sean. I know that you got a quote, and he was very gracious about it and very kind of, I don't know, like a good sport about it. But I'm going to watch this. Yes, it's the only way you can really handle it to not feed the monster of he's not selling for it. I know he's selling for this, but he's not selling for the actual thing. So let's take a look.
So this is about 2-minute video. I think it's in like the first 20 or 30 seconds.
Jerry Lynn?
This is Jerry Lynn's retirement show. What a tribute.
Oh, wow. Who's this right here?
But this is Jerry Lynn's retirement show. I thought it was like Dr. Luther then for a second.
Is that one of the... Oh, I thought it was one of the clowns. I'm going to say this. Nice try. X-Pac or Sean Waltman is not going to hurt you. But watch this guy's right hand. I'm going to go slow. So incredibly underrated. I put the hand up. He's going to kick the chest. Did you see that? So I just want to say this. This guy, I always say this about a lot of people. This guy is definitely one of the most underrated talents, one of the most underrated heels. This guy gets so much heat. Dare I say it, I know there was some stuff going on in the NWO. When he joined the NWO, like he was just that person, like the little, what was it, like Mutt and Jeff, the little guy that runs around and talks a lot of crap and tries to really rile up the babyface and get everybody else into trouble. That's what he reminded me of, not only in WCW, but also when he went back with DX. He was just that one guy that was like talking, seemingly you could talk the most amount of crap and get the whole group in trouble. That's a heel.
We need to talk about X-Pac heat in a minute after this. I've got it as notes, but I wanted to get your take on it. But here we go.
Oh. Now here's the thing. He's missed this a ton of times. And in theory, when you do this, there he is, right on the turnbuckle. Theory, when you do this, it's even an easier bump because you're just hitting. Now, I would say this. Usually, maybe because the ropes are too high or spread out in a way a little bit, usually his arms go over that top rope and he kind of straddles it because he's not a short guy. He's a pretty tall, lean guy. It's deceptively tall. Let's see. Now, do you think it's the little slide right there that catches him? Or do you think that when they put the pad on, it wasn't fully covering that bolt? That's my guess. Let's go. It literally doesn't look like anything, does it, James? As far as other ones. The only thing I can think of is right here that the bolt is sticking out and he slides slightly in that direction after the bump. Like, watch. Boom, that part right there. I think that's the part where it slides off the turnbuckle and it's on this part right here. And you can see there's a hook here and then there's usually a bolt there that screws in, or even sometimes another hook that goes into that. That's really dangerous, actually. It's weird how it hasn't happened to more people. Did he hit him with a chair afterwards?
So Sean Waltman does an X Factor after that as well, which of course
on his butt,
aka the Rampage. I think if Conan did it, but yeah. Are we all?
Now I'm looking.
Are we
right
all doing
here.
the thing to see if there's any I hate to use the word seepage or blood coming out.
I wanted to see if he was bleeding, but most people wear, like, he has tights on, and I think he might have biker shorts or compression shorts as well. So it might have tore the actual part or maybe the inside, but there's nothing here that says that he's bleeding. But obviously he's selling, but he just missed the Bronco Buster. So obviously you're going to sell that part of your body. So let's go to the X Factor.
The eternally...
He takes a table bump too.
The eternally youthful Jerry Lynn as well.
Great table bump. Oh, he hit his head like...
Dude, that's like a Japanese table.
That part there doesn't look like much, but the slide off on the top of his head getting like El Kabonged or Barney Rubble on that thing. I honestly couldn't tell you. I like the part where he puts his hand up, but he gets he misses it. But
yeah, there just seems to be just a
it's
little
that
slide.
little slide.
Yeah.
That's that little slide right there that did it. So, okay. Are we done watching people tearing urethras? And what was the actual injury, the official diagnosis of the injury?
I'm going to give you first off, I don't know if it's girlfriend or just friend at the time, Alicia Webb, the former Ryan Shamrock, in fact, in the WWF, tweeted, and maybe not quite as sensitive as you might expect, but we don't know if there is a medical term for it, but he did a Bronco buster last night that literally ripped his ass apart. Lost a lot of blood, had surgery this morning, and is on the road to recovery. Believe it or not, this has happened to him once before.
Really?
That would only happen once to me. That move would be retired, man, if that was the result.
Yeah, but his trap is the Bronco Buster is definitely something you pay to see with X-Pac. Now, what I would do is nobody ever moves now. The person is going to break my fall because he's running. And by the way, one of my favorite spots to do if Chris wants to be rolling in, the Bobby Eaton one, which is the second turnbuckle Bronco Buster. I always miss that. So potentially that could have happened to me. That was my favorite spot for a double down or something before a finish. And Bobby Eaton made that famous by doing it on the second turnbuckle. So man, if I knew about that and I was active, I'd never do it again.
Sean would also do this a lot if he was going to go for the Bronco Buster and they moved, that he would just put both feet on the bottom turnbuckle and then stop himself. Which would probably be a babyface thing instead of, hurting himself, I guess. Have you ever taken the Bronco Buster? Or at least a Bronco Buster?
I took a version against Goldust. Victoria ran to do something. Goldust got out of the way, and she hit me with the Bronco Buster. So it was like she was trying to jump at Goldust. He moves, and she ended up doing that to me. It's like the old, I did it with Jazz and Victoria before, where basically they whip me into Victoria. I splash her. I take a back bump. She stumbles out. Headbutt right there. And once I did it to her, and she sold it like a dude.
Now, this is what X-Pac posted, or Sean Waltman posted, really. Thank you, everyone, for the kind wishes and some funny one-liners I'm sure were hard to pass up. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? The video doesn't do justice to the severity of the situation. The turnbuckle wasn't covered, and my landing should have been 45 degrees. I ended up landing hard and horizontal. He sort of does, doesn't he? So he sort of lands and then slides forward completely, doesn't he? Yeah. As you pointed out. The turnbuckle ripped me another new hole. And I knew right away, you can see me tell ref, I tore my ass. That's a quote. I went to the after party briefly, but had to leave as blood started gushing. So it got even worse afterwards, apparently. Hotel looked like a murder scene. So much blood. I'm typing in... Oh, there we go. I'm typing in the dark. Sorry for typos. Well, we forgive you. Hotel security called ambulance and whoever it is performed a sphincterplasty to save me from having to have a colostomy bag. It's hard not to laugh. So feel free to find it humorous. I did almost bleed out before ambulance got there. I did the X Factor from the top rope and one through a table after it happened. My concern was Jerry getting the proper send-off, not my butthole.
Whew. Dude, I mean, I don't want to laugh. I don't want to have a good laugh or a one-liner from it. I'm looking at it and going, you almost died. You were bleeding out. And also the terrifying prospect about having a colostomy bag, which I would say, would that be a temporary thing or would it be something that would be a little bit more permanent? Usually a colostomy bag, like Georgie Animal Steel had one, other people I know had them, and that was it. I don't know if that was just something, I would assume from the surgery that you're going to the bathroom is going to be a problem. So I would think that would be a necessity and hopefully a temporary necessity for him. So, man, to bleed out that much, because as wrestlers, you're thinking, okay, well, I'm bleeding. It can't be that bad. It can't be any more than a cut here, maybe need stitches, whatever. I'll just go back to the room. He must not have thought much of it by going to the after party and then going back to the hotel. It must have been constantly bleeding. He's a good dude, man. Thank God he's still here, and that would be not the way to go.
He's doing really well, I think, these days as well, because, he's been very open. He's had issues with drugs for many years, and then the last few years, I guess he lives out in California and just got fit and healthy.
He had like a really great studio with a podcast for... Does he still have that
No,
going on?
that went a few years ago. I think
he was an excellent voice within the industry, and obviously he has to kind of... At that point, he's on and off WWE TV as he has his X-Pac podcast, but it was out there and it looked like a Chris Van Vliet production before Chris Van Vliet
it was like
doing
an early... Yeah, it was a way earlier version of it, wasn't it? But
yeah, like screens in the back and stuff, video wall.
Yeah, it was popular.
Great stuff. Dude, Sean, do it again, man, because he was really, really killing it when he had that show. I enjoyed it.